It's Halloween time, and it's time for the Pumpkin King to rise once again to become a Kamen Rider. Hello everybody, today we're going to talk about episode 9 of Kamen Rider Gavv, which is interesting that it's not written by a head writer. Instead, it's written by another writer named Kaori Kaneko, who I probably butchered that name, I'm so sorry, who is also the person that wrote Shinobi, Kamen Rider Shinobi, from Geo, as well as the Shinobi Geek special with Tycoon. So yeah, this is somebody that we should be familiar with. But anyway, it is a Halloween special. Oh, before we start reviewing the episode, just gotta tell everybody that yes, there will be a break next week, so we're not gonna have episode 10 until 2 weeks later. Anyway, let's start with episode 9 review. After the recap, we see Shoma and Amane giving candy away for Halloween, because it's Halloween today to the children. What makes Shoma happy that there's a holiday that celebrates free snacks. But honestly, yeah, I am also happy there's a holiday they give us free food. I decided to leave Amane alone to hunt down for some free, delicious candy. Meanwhile, we see Hunter seeing himself on like Twitter or X or online as he's pretty much figuring out that he's becoming more well known, which results in that he should definitely keep his identity a secret. I see two girls dancing with, interestingly dancing to build up the song for Kamen Rider Girl from Kamen Rider Build. Although they have no lyric, it's just the musical part, so I can try to do that not to get copyrighted or something like that. But interesting that, yeah, it's build up being played throughout this interaction. I think it's pretty funny. And one of them is struggling, named Kirari, who's going to be the main focus of this episode, that she's struggling, falling behind. And they decide to take a break and talk about how they want to be a good one of their friends from class. And Hunter overhears that the person that they're trying to inspire to actually disappeared from their classes and hasn't appeared anytime soon. She might be missing because her house is close to a cursed tunnel, which is said that monsters come from and kidnap people, which seems to intrigue Hunter a lot. Meanwhile, we see the twins in preparing their plan as Niev comes in with a new technology to help them out. As they promised Lango in a flashback that they should get another chance. I decided to give her a chance to take care of their business and getting product and defeating Shoma, as the twins said they'll do it in 10 days. And Niev asked them about the product line. They say that it's really good. They've been getting a lot of product lately thanks to their new recruit, a new Granu named Yard, who looks to be a crab turtle that I'm not going to explain much because it doesn't appear too much in this episode, but we'll wait and see who Yard is. Hunter goes to the kids, asking them about the monster situation, as the girl gets suspicious of him, which is pretty understandable. I mean, there's a guy, random guy that walks up to you and your two children, and you know, they try to ask you questions about being monsters. But yeah, it's pretty funny that they get suspicious of Hunter because one of them pulls the alarm, like I saw sort of kidnapper alarm. They flee, and Hunter tried to better explain to everybody the misunderstanding and try to chase after Kirari, which honestly that makes them more suspicious. This is not a good sign for our secondary writer. And we see Shoma trick-or-treat in his pumpkin outfit as he manages to get a lot of free candy from a lot of people. As he runs into Kirari, as he offers her some candy as he sees the wanted, but then she rejects it, saying that she doesn't like candy until Hunter comes in, who doesn't believe it as he said that she was salivating over the candy a couple minutes ago. As the people called her a kidnapper, as Shoma and Hunter talk about this whole misunderstanding about what's happening, as Kirari flee, and Hunter continues to chase after her, which again, as I say, it's suspicious. He tries to chase after her and bumps into a person selling his candy in front of a shop, which interestingly he's gonna be important later because he's played by an actor named Ryotaro Akazawa. I pretty much butchered that name, I'm so sorry. As he knocks over the sweet and Hunter decides to help him out. As he said that he have one, Hunter said no, he doesn't like the sweet and decided to chase after Kirari again. As he chases after her, she almost gets run over by a car because she didn't see the stoplight. As Hunter comes in to save her and pretty much scolds her that she should watch where she's going. But then she starts to cry. He just says that he apologizes for yelling at her. And he doesn't want more information about the monster. Kirari thinks that he actually liked the monster, but Hunter says that it's not true, that he actually just hates them. As she decides to tell him everything that she knows. They go to a park and talk about the tunnel that said to have a monster inside of it. And they say the monster appears there and that their friend disappeared around the same time. And Svenny says he lived near it. He decided to go into the tunnel to investigate. And I think he gets a chance to find out more information about it. As Kirari asks if it's dangerous, shouldn't he wait for somebody else to help him out? But Hunter remembered that his mother and mentor had pretty much been killed by Granu, saying that he's too deep into the situation to turn back now. As Kirari's happy that he has a goal just like her. As she explained that she wants to be an idol in the future, and that's why she's practicing a lot to make it happen. And this is the reason why she's not eating any sweets, thinking that it will make her slow down her progress and want to be better than her friend Tamura, who actually was the missing girl. Hunter asked to drop by to investigate. As the next day comes around, he decides to look over the dance recital, which again they're attempting to build up from Kamen Rider Build, which is just funny. Again with no lyrics, so probably just doing that to avoid copyright. It's just pretty weird they chose this song specifically for this episode. I just find this funny. A teacher followed the song, saying that everybody's good, but they actually tell Kirari that she's behind a little bit when she's coming up to one of the dance poses. Hunter thinks that the teacher might be a Granu due to the fact that his stomach looked in a weird shape. The teacher offers a lot of treats to the student, which instantly get the candy from the same shop that Hunter bumped into to the guy in front of the shop earlier in the episode. Kirari doesn't want any, he just walks away. Because after that, Kirari is sad as Hunter arrived to aid her in her situation, as he said that she's the worst dancer of them all and feel like she's been holding everybody back and thinking that she should quit. Hunter decides that he understands that feeling. Which honestly, yeah, it never gets any easier from there about thinking that you're the worst link of team. It just tells her to just change her dream because, it's just some dream, doesn't matter. But then she gets defensive saying that she does care about her dream. But Honda decided to tell her that she should just keep going because she's being so defensive that she actually is serious about making her dream a reality of being an idol. And tell her that she should keep going and that it's not good to compare yourself to others. And you always feel like you always be the worst when you compare yourself to others. It's never good to have that mindset. But it's a nice little teaching to the children. It's pretty good that he actually acted like a mentor used to do back in the day. And I really do like Hunter's development here in this episode. And what matters is what she wants to be. And she continued to want to be an idol, which is improving to be better at it, which is a good answer for Hunter to accept her dream becoming reality. And she wants Hunter to meet her in the park to see her practice with some new move. And he tells her that he's just busy at the time as her friend comes in to give her some of the sweet to Kirari that she didn't eat. Which is pretty funny that she doesn't acknowledge that Hunter was the guy that was trying to think that they were the kidnapper. So I'm wondering if she's probably explaining off screen that yeah, he's not a kidnapper at all, which I did just think it's a funny conversation we could have had. As her friend decides to leave, and the teacher suspiciously follows the friend of Kirari. Hunter promises to meet up with her at the park and decides to follow the teacher as well. Meanwhile, Shoma is sad that Halloween ended yesterday as he decides that wanting to have a more days to come for getting free snacks. As he decides to eat a lollipop and actually feels ecstasy once again, which compared to like the first time in eating Fua Mellow and all that. As he imagines himself beating up a lollipop candy cane thing, thinking that it's so hard that it doesn't melt at all. As well as also eating a jawbreaker. They make 3 new gochiso. One of them is too heavy. He introduces himself to the 3 new gochiso, but then the agent comes in and just steals his food. And I just find funny out of context that he just comes in just to steal his food in order to motivate Shoma to follow him, which he does by summoning his bike and chases after the agent. Meanwhile, Hunter follows the teacher to the tunnel that's close by and decides to stop him as he tried to reveal his stomach. But turns out, he just had like heat warmer in his stomach as he's been having stomach problem lately. So he's not a grounded, he's just kind of a weirdo because Hunter asks why he's following the student. As he tells him that one of his students gone missing, so he wanted to find out and investigate what's going on in the tunnel. But then can't hold back his stomach, decided to go leave, probably find a toilet or something. So yeah, a little funny scene that I think we're like glad the teacher, a little weirdo, and I still think it's suspicious that he's following a student, but still. Hunter apologizes for it as he sees another kid eat a treat, which is interesting, the same treat from the shop earlier in the episode. As he gets happy about it, as he starts to get apprehended by Yard that the twins mentioned earlier in the episode. And he tried to compress the random child. And I just gotta say, I like the design. It kind of looked like a turtle with some horns in its head and some sort of little mustache little thing. It looks really cool. I love the design of this little turtle crab thing. So yeah, he tried to compress the child until Hunter comes in and stops him by shooting him in the face. And he tells the kid to run away as he transforms in order to fight Yard. And he's actually getting more famous because Yard actually recognizes that he's the rider that helps Gavv in his fight. It's really cool to see that, yeah, word of mouth coming around about who Kamen Rider Valen is. So yeah, they begin their fight as Shoma arrives to follow the agent to a warehouse which is actually a trap by the twin. As they activate the device that was given to them by Niev. As Shoma transforms into a Chokodon form to fight. He tried to fight against them, but then gets shot by the new technology. And it's really cool to see that the Chokodon form starts to melt, so I'm actually glad they brought that little thing back from the early episode, trying to reveal his undersuit. As he transfers to Fua Mellow to auto fight, but it also starts to melt by the new device. It's also pretty cool to see how Fua Mellow looked like underneath the suit, in the undersuit. It looks really cool. And the twins are happy that their plan is working, especially with Niev's new technology. And we intercut with Hunter and Yard fighting one another in the tunnel, as the Yard pretty much makes food in order to make good quality food in order to force people to become happy. So by the time they compress, they're happy all the time. So yeah, it's pretty much the psychological way to compress people. As they continue to fight, a really cool shot of smashing the ground. It looks really cool. Valen tried to dodge it. And pretty nice that it's a really cool fight. Even like Yard pins Valen to the wall upside down, and Valen just shoots at him in order to escape from Yard, which is pretty cool. I love the little fight between these two. It's a really cool fight. I love the directing. The acting was really good. But because of that, Yard escaped, and Hunter tried to follow him but fails as he finds the sweet package for the shop that he visited early in the episode when he bumped into him, realizing that it's the same guy that he was fighting who was actually the human disguise of Yard. It's pretty interesting that, yeah, as I said, pay attention to this guy. He's gonna be important later in the episode. We go back to the other plot as Shoma struggles to fight against the agent and the twin with the device. I think about what form he should use, which you remember that he had to use Lollipop Gochizo and uses it to transform to his debut of Gurucan form. And he just casually crashes the floor. Like, it looks really cool to see how he crushes the floor to show the weight of this form. And I love the color, I love the weight of it, and I also like that it's actually not CGI, it's an actual physical suit. Kind of similar to Maximum Mighty X from Kamen Rider X-A, which I feel like there may be a kid bashing of that form because it looks very similar, especially the chest area. But yeah, it's pretty cool that they actually have an actual physical mech giant form, which is really cool to see. I would like to see more of it in the fighting scene. We actually see as the device actually starts to blast at Shoma, but then nothing happens. He just bounces off of it because, you know, it's a lollipop and a jawbreaker. It's very hard. It doesn't melt that easily when it gets attacked. So it's pretty cool they kept that idea from the candy. And usually the bike for all the way from episode 1 turns into a Gatling gun, which is really cool. And he starts firing everywhere, destroying the agent in a really cool shot, and even destroying the devices. But it's really cool to see as the Gochisos had to cool down the Gatling gun in order to prepare its finisher by building a stand in order to put the Gatling gun on, and then shooting a ginormous jawbreaker to attack the agent, killing it. Which is pretty cool to see the inside of it, like just making the jawbreaker and then shooting it out. It looked a really cool shot. I love the finisher. It was really cool. The twins worry about this, decide to just leave to make sure that they can fight another day. But it's not over yet. Hunter goes back to the shop, but finds it that it's gone. And even talking to a woman, if they know what happened, and she explained that no, it just disappeared without a trace, which is very suspicious. It's pretty funny that the shop, I think, is named after a shell or a turtle shell, so it's kind of like hiding behind it. It's pretty cool to see. And Hunter finds it weird that it just disappeared without a trace. But this it finds some tracks on the ground, thinking that it might be a clue to something. Shoma writes in his little diary, hoping that next year Halloween would be better. And we see Kirari decided to eat her little snack that she got from earlier that Yard created. But unfortunately, Yard comes behind her, right at the compressor at the episode end. And it's pretty saddening that this is where the episode ends and we have to go on a break because, yeah, next week there's no episodes. We gotta wait 2 weeks for the conclusion, but it just sucks. I want to know what happened to Kirari. Overall, it was actually a really good episode. I love the debut of Gurucan form. I like how he brought back the little joke of the ecstasy little scene that he gets when he makes the new Gochiso, and it's really cool. I also like how Hanta gets developing to become our secondary writer. Actually wanted to help motivate people, kind of similar to his mentor. I cannot wait for Hanta and Shoma to team up again in order to show how good they are, because they are the good boy dorks, and I love them. Also, I like that Halloween is happening, and he literally dressed as a pumpkin, Shoma, so they kind of like it, Pumpkin King, which is pretty cool to see. Also, like that how the twins are desperate to finally get a way to defeat Shoma, so hopefully there's more plot points of that. I really want to see more of that. Overall, it was a pretty good episode. I cannot wait for what the episode 10 has to offer, because it's still being written by the same writer this episode and not by our head writer. So hopefully you get the consistency of it. Cannot wait. Rating wise, to give a 7.6 out of 10. What do you guys think? You like the episode or do you not? Were you also shocked that build up was being played in this episode? Because I sure was. What do you think about Kirari's story, as well as the fact that Hanta began developing as a character? As well, how do you think about Gurucan form being debuted in this episode? Leave a comment down below and subscribe for more Kamen Rider Gavv content. Peace.